Welcome back to the Keith Finnegan Show. It's Ollie Turner sitting in. Well, we're into the final few minutes of the programme, so as ever on a Friday evening, it's time for our Tierney Talks. But just before that, we are getting word about a sensational word on the N6 Galway City Transport Project, which we're hearing has sensationally been shelved. Now, this is going to leave somewhere in the region of €750 million of funding that have been left to be distributed elsewhere. Now, joining us to talk a little bit about this, and they seem to be queuing up on the phones at this point that the news has broken. Eamon O'Cuiv, you're joining me first. Eamon, obviously this news is hot off the press. What do you make of it all?
Well, in actual fact, it was me who actually found what was a critical flaw in the project, that the plans submitted for this Galway City Transport Project were not as Gaeilge. And now the 750 million surplus of EU funding, I am now calling on it to be spent in the Connaughton area, in my own constituency, and I'm looking for a very important project that I think would be hugely beneficial throughout the greater Connaughton area.
Now hold on a minute, you're telling me that you used a technicality that the plans weren't in Irish?
That's correct. Neither on the plans as Gaeilge, and under EU tendering rules, if the plans for a certain project over a certain financial threshold are not submitted as Gaeilge, then where they transgress the Gaelic area, like Galway City, the plans there's no choice in the matter. The project is shelved.
So, I mean, I presume that you could still look at upgrading something like the N59, the Clifton to Galway road, and at least have some positivity out of this?
No, well, I think there's a far better way to spend the money in the Connaughton area. And in actual fact, I've almost committed the entire 750 million on an EU UDRAS Gaelic study to look at over-investment of EU funds in the Connaughton area.
Oh, this is just ridiculous. Eamon O'Cuiv, we've got to park it there. That just sounds nonsensical. Niall O'Brolchain is on the other line. Neil, you've obviously heard what Eamon O'Cuiv has been saying. I'm sure you've got some use for this 750 million.
Good morning. Well, I have a number of very eco-friendly projects that I think the 750 million euros could be spent on. I mean, Apple are moving out to Athenry, as we've all heard in recent weeks, and I think there's no reason why we can't actually harness the clouds over Galway. There are a lot of clouds coming in off Galway Bay, and I think there's a huge business opportunity for Galway to harness our own clouds and do something with them.
Are you for real?
Well, look, this is green politics. This is, the Green Party's position is very clear on this, and this is a sustainable project to commit the 750 million euros to. There are other very important issues out there, like counselling services for trees.
All right, this is off the wall stuff now. Sorry, Councillor O'Brolchain, we're going to have to leave it there. We might just get a bit of sense from North Galway now. Paul Connaughton Senior is on not line Katie, line 3. Paul, good morning to you.
Good morning, Keith. Now, I just want to say I was speaking to a poor unfortunate woman out in my own constituency of Mount Bellew, Mila. Now, you might ask what the nature of the problem was. Well, you can just imagine this poor woman was forced to get up out of her bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, and all the travails that would bring.
Now, Paul, sorry to cut across you. We're running out of time.
Paul, she was forced to wait for hours and hours and hours, and then, as if that wasn't to be told, that evening, that she was going to have to come back and do it all over again the following week.
Paul, we're talking about 750 million of road money now. How are you going to spend it?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was on Midwest there. My apologies. Oh, the 750 million for the Galway City Transport Project. Well, now, I'm a long time around, and I would say I think they'll be sending day trips to the moon by the time that project will ever go ahead.
But this is the whole point, like, it is going ahead, the money is there. I mean, we're asking you how you would have spent it. I mean, is there any project you could see down around North Galway that it might be used for?
Well, there are a lot of bins in local roads in my own area of Mount Bellew and Newbridge and around the Ballinasloe area. That would take a lot of corners out of rural borings. There are a lot of new slatted tanks that we could certainly find a commitment to for local farmers in the area, who I'm sure would be very welcoming of such a figure of 750 million.
All right, Paul, listen, we're going to have to leave it there. We're just starting to drift a little bit there into the world of nonsense. Mentioning the world of nonsense, we've got a very... Well, I can't believe it's the same. Conor McGregor, UFC, is that right?
Let's good morning, my friend.
Conor.
What I got to say is, this project, this Galway City Transport Project, 750 million, I am going to crush this project. It is going to be left in a highway of devastation. It is going to be left as a crippling heap of misery. And I would say to the people who planned this ridiculous project, I will crush this, I will dismantle this. It will be left in a smouldering heap of octagon-style devastation.
I drove a Morris Minor back in 1964, and I've danced in every ballroom from Salt Hill to Templemore.
My hair oil days have come and gone, but I have no regrets. Lisdoonvarna, here I come, there's life in the old dog yet.
There's life in the old dog yet, me boys, there's life in the old dog yet. Lisdoonvarna, here I come, there's life in the old dog yet.